Have you heard of the term debt to income ratio? Well, if you're thinking about buying real estate, then you probably have. Either way, today I'm going to explain exactly what it is, and we're going to get started right now. Today, I'm going to tell you about debt to income, a ratio used by mortgage lenders when qualifying a buyer for a home loan. I'll also tell you how to fix it if the number's not exactly where you need it to be. First, let me welcome you back to the channel. This is All Things Knoxville. I'm Ben Barreto, a local real estate pro and relocation expert for East Tennessee. Do me a quick favor before we get started, and please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps my reach and my ability to help others. Lastly, if you're thinking of moving, whether it's to the area, whether you're in the area thinking about making a move, maybe you're in between and you got questions or you need information, or you just need a great realtor, give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, sign up on my website. All that information is in the description or floating along the bottom of the screen. I do it all the time. I successfully help hundreds of people in real estate, and I would love to help you. Now, with all that out of the way, let's jump into the video for today. Let's start by explaining what debt to income ratio is. Your debt to income ratio, or your DTI, is all your monthly debt payments divided by your gross monthly income. This number is one way lenders measure your ability to manage the monthly payments to repay the money you plan to borrow. Different loan products and lenders will have different DTI limits. So again, DTI is when you take all your monthly debt and you divide that by your gross monthly income. And your gross monthly income is basically the income you wish you got before you deduct all of your taxes and federal deductions out of it. So let's take it step by step and do the math together. So step one is you add all your minimum payments you make towards your debt in an average month, plus your mortgage or rent payment. You don't need to factor in common living expenses like utilities and food, or paycheck deductions like health insurance or 401k contributions. But you should include the following: your mortgage payment, your car loans, student loans — I even hate saying student loans, I hate that word — medical bills, credit card payments, personal loans, timeshare payments. You'll also include recurring monthly payments like child care or child support or alimony. Even though they aren't technically considered debt, it's still something you're paying out every month that your income goes towards. Is it confusing? Yes. It's also a little bit uncomfortable to share your debt with a stranger, but listen, if you want to be a homeowner, that's what you got to do. So to sum it up, include all your monthly minimum debt payments and recurring or legally binding payments in your debt to income ratio, but not your basic monthly utility bills. And a lot of lenders will give you an itemized list of what to get, so that makes it easier. So step two is you're going to divide that number by your gross monthly income. And remember, that's the number that you have before taxes are taken out. The number you wish you brought home. Don't forget to include any money that comes in on an average month. So think about any side jobs, salary, wages, tips, bonuses, child support, alimony, pensions, or social security. Then you multiply that number after you divide it by your income by 100 to get a percentage, and that is your debt to income ratio. So let's look at an example. We're going to talk about Bob, who pays $600 a month in minimum debt payments for student loans and a car payment, plus $1,000 a month for his mortgage payment before taxes. Before taxes, Bob brings home about $5,000 a month. To calculate his DTI, add up his monthly debt and mortgage payments, which is about $1,600, and then you divide that by his gross monthly income of $5,000, which gives us 0.32. You multiply that by 100, and Bob's debt to income ratio is 32%. Now that you know how to calculate it and what it's used for, let's answer the question as to how lenders view DTI. So the criteria can vary from lender to lender or loan to loan, but here's a general breakdown of the industry standards. DTI less than 36% is preferred. Lenders view a DTI under 36% as good, meaning they think you can manage your current debt payments and you can handle taking on additional loans. DTI between 36 and 43% is kind of not the best. It makes lenders nervous, and adding another loan payment to your plan or to your plate might be challenging, especially if an emergency pops up and you no longer can devote that money to your debt. You won't necessarily get turned down for another loan, but lenders will proceed with caution. More than likely you'll get a higher interest rate or something like that, pay higher points. DTI between 43 and 50% is not good. When your DTI gets to this level, you're almost too risky for any lender to lend to you, and you may not be able to get a loan at all. And DTI over 50%, at this point you're in a danger zone and lenders aren't really going to give you any money. With the DTI ratio over 50%, that means over half of your monthly income is going to pay your debt. When you add in normal living expenses like groceries and insurance, there's not much left over for saving or covering any emergency, and another loan could tip you over the edge and just ruin your life in general. So if your debt to income ratio is not where you or your lender want it to be, here are a few practical tips to lower your debt to income ratio. And a lot of these are pretty obvious, but just in case, number one is don't take on any more debt. Taking on more debt will just make your DTI percentage rise and also your stress level. So don't be tempted to add any more payments to your plate. Work on getting rid of the payments you already have. Next is you could earn additional income. Negotiate a higher salary at work, pick up a few extra hours at the job, start some freelance work. Anything you can do to earn more income will help lower your debt to income ratio. Then use that extra cash to pay off your debt. Third is you can pay higher than your minimum payment on your debt, which you should be doing already. Seriously, if you're only paying your minimum payment, those balances are not going to go away. They're going to be there forever. To pay off debt faster, start by tackling the smallest debt first, not the one with the highest interest rate, but the smallest amount. You can call this the debt snowball method. When you use the debt snowball method, you'll get quick wins and see progress on the debt right away, which will keep you motivated to pay off the rest even faster. So basically you pay off the smallest debt, and then you take that monthly payment and add it to your next smallest debt so that you're almost doubling that payment, and so on and so forth until you're debt free. Fourth, you want to get on budget. What a budget will do is help you visually see where your money is going each month and track where you're overspending. If you're making adjustments to those areas, you'll have more money to throw at your debt every single month, which will lower your DTI and get you closer to life without debt and home ownership, if that's your end goal, which I'm guessing it is because you're watching this channel. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope that you found this information helpful. I hope it was informative. I hope you learned something, and as always, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for stopping by, and as always, if you need anything, give me a shout. And until next week, bye-bye.